Public Works and Safety meeting. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call, please, Carol.
Mayor Sheets.
Present.
Greg Miller.
Present.
Jim Skinner.
Present.
Okay, we have the minutes from the May 27, 2025 regular meeting.
I make a motion, we accept the minutes from May 27, 2025. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay, the minutes have been approved. Next, we have the claims from the Clerk Treasurer's Office.
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the claims as presented.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay, they've been approved. Were there any public comments? Nothing? Okay. We'll start out with the Police Department report. Resolution 25-07, I believe. Did we just get that? Is that correct?
Yes, that is, the town of Mulberry they purchased some radios that they didn't end up wanting to use because of connectivity issues in Mulberry. And so they approached the Frankfort Police Department to see if they wanted to purchase them. So the police department was interested in purchasing them, and they have come to an agreement on purchasing those. And so Chief Shoemaker asked me to prepare a resolution to allow the police department to purchase those radios from the town of Mulberry.
Okay, and Brady, do you have any information for us as
Well,
well?
it's probably in the resolution. I just have some notes here to pass on.
Okay.
That the discounted price available to us from Mulberry is $8,500, which that's a savings down from $9,700 for the radios of what it would be. So there's a savings in there, and this would complete our last phase of our radio upgrade process to the 6000s.
Are those mobile or in-car radios?
The mobile radios.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, whatever they call them now.
Yeah.
Mobile yeah, but they're the handheld. So.
I'm sure
Motorola?
that he must have the funding for it.
Yeah, it's the APX 6000.
Yeah.
It's just the next step that we really need to keep up on.
And he has the funding for that, right?
I believe
I'm
so.
pretty sure he does, or he wouldn't have.
Yeah, right now we're seeking approval for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, So.
okay.
Now, the resolution, as I read it, shows that we will pay for those radios, and then Mulberry's going to keep possession until...
We are not going to pay for them until we get possession.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Mulberry, they are going to order a different radio that will work better for them. And my understanding is they're placing that order as soon as the Board of Works approves the purchase. And then once they get that radio in, they will then give custody of the radios to the Frankfort Police Department. And at that time, we will pay them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
On it. So, part of the funds for that, there's a question. We were able to negotiate a reduced cost for our body camera program with the body worn comfort utility over the next 5 years. So with that reduced cost, we're wanting to reallocate the savings from that agreement to help to fund the purchase of these radios with the upgrade. So
Okay.
it sounds like that money is built in there with those
Okay.
savings that we negotiated with the body worn cameras. So.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Brady.
Mayor, I'll make the motion that we pass Resolution 2507, authorizing the purchase of property from the town of Mulberry, that being 2 portable radios for the use for our police department.
And I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay, resolution number 25-07 passes. Did you have any other reports, Brady? Did you have anything else for us?
No, I didn't, other than, we're full go for summer to try to get all the events and festivals staffed. We are beefing things up a little bit in both Hot Dog Festival, 4th of July. Due to 4th of July being on a Friday, anticipate a lot of people off work and at our festivals in a good way. But a lot of planning, a lot of stuff's been going on with that. Other than that, just forward on the training and everything else for this summer. So
Okay.
no other real new exciting updates. So,
Okay, thank
any
you.
questions for me?
No, thank you, Captain.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you do. Okay, Fire Department, Chief Stidham.
All right, good evening. So just want to give you a couple updates, and then I do have something I would like to ask of the board while we're here. First thing is just we're working on trucks still. One of our tankers is now going to cost us well over $20,000-$30,000 to get repaired. That does not come from us. That will come from one of the townships. So we're going to be working on that. We're trying to get that approval now to get that all completed. So we're still running truck problems. Just seems like every day I think there's a new truck problem somewhere, something we're getting repaired, something we're getting fixed. Just to keep you updated on everything else that's going on, we did our ISO review last Wednesday. If a lot of people don't understand, that's what kind of dictates what our insurance rate's going to be for our community. Right now, we are currently at a 4, which is the average they said around the state of Indiana. And without going into a lot of detail, there's going to be some things that goes on in the next couple of weeks that we got to get information. They'll give us a score, but he's also going to regroup with us again in December and possibly give us a different score. So our goal between now and December is to try to get us down to a class 3. That's going to be our goal with the fire department. If that's the case, he said that the residents of the city of Frankfort would see significant changes in their insurance rates throughout Clinton County in our service area.
Good.
So that's kind of one of our goals.
So these are items, Matt, that you can do in-house to change what that number may be.
Correct. Yep. So a lot of them's going to be some things in-house that we need to work on to do a little bit better on. So it's going to entail a lot of work between now and December, though. I can assure you it's 719 pre-plans we have to get completed for the city of Frankfort prior to, just to start. That's just some of the things that we'll have to work on.
So what is the scale for that ISO?
So it's 1 to 7.
1 to
So-
7, so we're,
And right now, there's only 4 class 1s in the state of Indiana. And respectfully, we'll probably never be there, at least in my lifetime. One of those scores is just having a backup ladder truck that's a reserve truck that you don't use. The chances of us having a $2 million truck sitting there that we just say we don't use as a reserve is going to be kind of tough. So there's some policy changes I need to make that would help reflect with our ISO rating, as well as there's going to be a lot of work that the firemen are going to have to put into it, and myself.
We were a 6 at one
we
time.
were a 6 and
Yes.
we're a 4, and
We're hoping for 3. Right now, we're
Yes.
about 3 points away. We won't know exactly where we sit until after June 20th, when he gets all of our materials, he does his review. At that point, we'll kind of know a little bit closer to where we're going to be as far as number-wise. It could fluctuate. We could go down to a 6.4. Right now, we're at 6.7, 6.69, 66.9. And so to get to the class 3, we have to get to 70. So if we can get 3 more points, I think over the next, 8 or 9 months, it might help us out considerably.
That'd be great.
And then the last thing is kind of just wanting to get the board to see if they're willing to help us with this, but we want to go ahead and apply for the SAFER grant, which does help for personnel. We know there's a lot of hurdles to get through, but I kind of wanted to bring it to you guys today at least, just to say, are you guys okay with us approaching that aspect of it and trying to get that grant written? It'll take us, it's got to be in by the first week of July. So are you guys opposed of us doing that to the fire department?
Absolutely not. We're
Okay.
in favor of it.
Okay, they did
Yes,
change the
please.
SAFER grant a little bit this year, how it has been in the past. In the past, the first year, kind of like what the police department did, the first year, they pay the salary. Now they do it actually a little bit differently. I think it's a 90, 70, 50 over the next 3 years, but still it's a considerable amount of money that we could save, so.
Okay, so that's what there would always be that for the first 3. It's
That's,
not
yes,
fully
they do it
funded.
for the
Okay.
first 3. Instead of it being fully funded the first year like it used to be, they changed
Mm-hmm.
it this year to where it's like a 90, 70, 50%. So it's still good
And then
savings.
probably some of the similar things, like after the 4th year, then we
Yes,
would have to take
correct.
that over, and we have to keep them on our staff
yes,
for so long.
that's correct.
Okay.
Yep. So I'll have more details as we kind of go through it a little bit more, but I just wanted to make sure I got your guys'
Yes.
okay with moving forward before
Absolutely.
we start investing all that work.
I think it's a great idea.
And that's been successful for the police department in the past, correct?
Oh, yes.
It has. And we know that with the fire department that it's a little bit more of a struggle because there's NFPA standards they have to meet. Again, that's going to be part of our process of trying to figure out how we can get to that standard. But the main thing is we're going to give it a try. We tried it 2 years ago. We didn't last year because we found out how much more NFPA requirements there was going to be. So this year we decided, regardless what it is, we're just going to go ahead and try again.
No.
Great idea.
Yeah,
I love it.
Hopefully we have 2 council members present tonight. Hopefully they'll be supportive of that too.
And that's all I have if you guys, unless you guys have any other questions.
I don't have anything.
Okay,
Thank you.
We have a day to turn dirt yet?
Oh, good one. We're still waiting on the county to process some things, is my understanding. So for Station 4, I'm being told now they're hoping by the end of June
Okay,
is what the hope is.
okay.
Once the county gets all through their approvals and gives us our permits, then we're going to break ground.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay?
we're ready for that.
Me too.
Thank you. Okay, Street Department, Brian Kilman.
How we doing?
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good
Hi,
evening.
Brian.
I don't really have anything exciting, but just some updates. The banners are all up besides 2. We'll get the last 2 put up tomorrow. That's it for the first wave. The second wave will be coming in towards the end of June. Total of 81 total banners, so 34 more to go. It's gonna be on both sides of Washington Avenue, and then we're gonna have to look at other areas too, so it's a booming
Great
project.
project.
It is, absolutely. And I really thank the Rotary for taking that project on and being so successful. And thank you to the Street Department for all your hard
Absolutely.
work on
I want
it.
to thank the parks too for letting us use their bucket truck.
Thank
The
you,
fork truck
Parks.
can only get us so far, but that truck is awesome, so appreciate that. Speed bumps are all back up. Dorners, East Side Park, 3rd Street. TPA will go back in tomorrow morning. We're looking at some other locations around town as well. We're also looking at potentially putting in permanent ones, like they have in Lafayette, the concrete or asphalt, they're a little bit bigger, but try to get some of the areas with those. And then if we do that, we can free up some of the temporaries and move them around as we see fit, so.
Those bigger ones are easier to plow on.
Yes, we can
Right.
plow over those, we can salt over those, it's not gonna affect anything.
And right now, we were focusing on the areas of the parks because we feel like that's someplace where we have to be very cautious because of the safety of the children, because they just run in and out of the streets and don't think about it. So, like you said, we're looking at other areas as well.
Green
Also
Sh-
looking at the cost and,
Green Street Park, looking at Circle Park, not sure what we can really do there, but we're gonna try to figure something out.
Okay.
we've had some areas just like Kiger Street, Burlington, some of those out. That's still in the areas of the parks where there's a lot of traffic, people walking, biking. So he's looking at that.
Guys began mowing and weed eating around downtown, the courthouse and the businesses.
Thank you.
Should have that done tomorrow, get some weed killer down, get all that done before Greg notices it.
It's just started.
I have a feeling you're right. Alley work should be beginning this week or next. I know we're extremely behind with the alleys, but the amount of rain that we've got just absolutely just put us behind. I know some people think that we've quit doing alleys since we went to street side. That is not true. We are trying to get in there every day, and we're going to beef them back up and make them a lot better. And then lastly, the city auction is this Saturday, the 14th at 10 a.m. If anybody wants to come out, they can come out Friday from 9 to 2:30 to see the vehicles or look at what we have, or the doors will open at 8 a.m. on Saturday.
Okay. Sounds
That's all
good.
I got.
Thank you.
Yep,
Thank
have a
you.
good evening.
Thanks for your
Appreciate it.
thanks for your help in getting a couple cleanup jobs done last week that were
I will always answer your call.
all over town.
Thank you. That was much appreciated.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay, building services.
Rob is on vacation, so I do not have your May permits. That'll probably come at the next Board of Works meeting. But I will let you know that we have started our ADA building checks. The street department has completed, the utility building office has completed, Old Stoney's halfway, and we'll be heading to the Parks Department this week to check on the Parks Department, and then we'll have all the fire departments, The police department is iffy because of a new building, and we know that the only thing that they have that's not approved is the flagpole. And then it'll be the utility building or utility offices of water, sewer, and electric, the ITT building. And so once we get all those done, we're planning to have him completed by the end of June. And then we'll meet as a group, as a ADA department, and pass out all the information for all the buildings so that we can then sit down and figure out how we move forward from there. But hopefully by, our first Board of Works meeting in July, we'll have you all the information on the buildings that what needs to be taken care of to make them compliant. But, we're off and running, and we'll start doing sidewalks again soon as we have access now to do, what is it, where I can actually be at the sidewalk, make a mark, and GPS, we have access to that program, so we'll be able to actually mark them as we move forward and not have to come back and try to write a book on where everything is. So we'll start that project
And the
very soon.
utilities helped us out on that GIS.
The utilities did very well, yeah. We get to use, at no cost, their group and have our own layer for the sidewalks. And so we'll get started on that very soon. And that's all that I have.
And I just want to emphasize the importance of this ADA work that you're doing with Tim, because this makes a difference whether or not we get federal funding or local funding. We have to be compliant. I think they give us 20 years, but they're constantly checking us on that. We have to have a transition plan in place, Title VI, all these things are really important. So probably over the next 5 years, the city's going to have to work really hard to get all this ADA compliance work done. So when you look at that cost versus that we could get millions of dollars in federal funding, I think we need to realize that. So as he comes into the different departments, work with them, whatever they need, and I think each department now has someone assigned to ADA, is that
Yes,
correct?
that is right.
And then they will work with Dawn, and we'll make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, it's no longer just putting a name on a line and then changing it from year to year. You're required. And the thing about it, what a lot of people don't understand is that once we make our report to the Department of Transportation, then we're on the clock. We got to start making some changes and updates and moving forward. Here at Old Stony, we're addressing our parking lots. We're working on those type things and making sure that everybody understands where the elevator is to be able to get access into the building, and talking about putting a answering device down here so that if somebody comes, we can allow them to get in without having to prop the door open. And so there's a lot that we're going through as we move forward.
And like they said, it's a working document, so
It is.
we have to always keep that updated if we have new projects or if we complete a project. So it's something that's going to be ongoing for several years for this city.
For a very long time.
And they check into that, believe you me, when you want a grant. They're going to
Yeah.
make sure that you're compliant.
Well, I mean, it just not only goes there, but it goes to people who apply for putting your streets in. They have to have certain requirements that, and if they don't, then you can toss their bid out if they don't. So it's just a lot different than it was 2 or 3 years ago, and I think we're doing an okay job trying to get on top of it. So,
Doing our best.
yep.
Thank you, Dawn. Okay, next we have the Parks Department. Who's going to speak first?
I just got one thing for you guys. Good
Okay.
evening to you guys. Hello. So the first thing is we are doing the rehoming of the animals still, and there should be a list presented in front of you guys
Yes.
for 10 parakeets and 15 lovebirds to be rehomed.
I think, didn't we last time make a motion to approve these, did we?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And we still have a few more that we're going to be rehoming, but it's just a process. And we have to make sure they're in a safe environment and that they're going to be taken care of and proper licensing. motion?
I'll make a motion that we accept the record of disposition of 10 parakeets and 15 lovebirds as presented by the Parks Department.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay. Permission for that.
Emily?
Next one's Emily, right? Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
I have a few things. The first thing is Clinton Central Education Foundation has requested 1-day pool passes for their golf outing on Saturday, July 26th.
Yes, someone reached out to me and asked if we would be willing to do that, which I think is an opportunity for someone to come to Sapphire Bay, see what a great facility is, and hopefully they'll decide to buy a pass and spend the summer there.
How many passes were they asking for?
Just 2-day passes.
I'll make a motion that we accept her recommendation for the Clinton Central Education Foundation for 2 of the day Sapphire Bay passes.
And I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay. And you have the contact information, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then Clinton County Autism Support Group is asking for their rental fee to be waived for shelter,
Work on that.
TPA shelter. It looks like 3.
Shelter 3,
Oh, shelter 4. Sorry.
shelter 4. And what's the date of that?
It is the 28th of June.
June 28th. Okay.
And what group was that?
The Clinton County Autism Support Group.
And that was shelter, which shelter?
4.
4, okay.
I'll make a motion that we accept the application for use of Shelter House Number 4 by Clinton County Autism Support Group, and the fees be waived.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay. All right.
And
The
then
approval for that.
next is I have a wedding, Hannah Williams. She is asking for alcohol approval. It'll be served by Angry Donkey in the Park Pavilion in Prairie Creek Park.
We don't.
We don't, okay.
No.
What's the date on that again?
I'm sorry, on July 2nd.
Did you say it was at the Pavilion or at the Encompass?
It is at the Prairie Creek. They have the Park Pavilion, like the outside space.
Okay.
Not the
Okay.
indoor.
And Angry
Yeah.
Donkey, I'm sure
Yeah.
is,
Is this one of
And
them
I have
we've
all of the
already?
Angry Donkey information.
have we already done
Didn't
that?
Angry Donkey, didn't we bring in some contracts earlier in the year and?
We did.
Is that
That's
one of
for,
them?
That was for the
that's for the concert events. This would be a private event
Okay.
where we require them to have a licensed vendor there to serve alcohol.
Do they have to get application from the?
You have it?
Typically, we do, but I didn't get a copy of that.
Okay.
And you have all
Sorry.
that,
I have
right?
it.
Okay.
What about the State Beverage Commission? Are they involved in this to approve the?
Typically, as long as they have a licensed vendor, they don't have to follow. They don't have to get any additional alcohol permitting approval.
Okay.
There are certain vendors that have that state licensure, and as long as you use one of those, generally you're fine.
Okay.
They do generally have to have security and things like that. Like there are certain rules that they have to follow, but I don't think they have to get any additional permitting as long as they have a licensed vendor.
They have that license, they can pretty much float to any place they need to.
Right. Well, so the vendor can. I mean, you couldn't just have like your cousin Ed come out and
Yeah.
and bartend for you,
Okay.
right? So that's why we require the licensed,
Okay.
Person from, like the Angry Donkey or whoever.
Okay. Somebody want to
This is
make a motion? July 2nd?
Hannah Williams? Okay,
Yes.
I'll make a motion that we accept the recommendation here for Hannah Williams' wedding event at the Prairie Creek Park for July the 2nd, and the Angry Donkey is providing the alcohol.
I will second that motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay, got approval for that.
And then you should have this one. It's the contract for Midnight Red Eye. They'll be performing at the 4th of July Festival. The contract payment is $3,000 upon completion of concert. And I'm just asking approval of this contract.
I'll make a motion that we accept the agreement with Midnight Red Eye for a contract price of $3,000, date of engagement July the 4th.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
So Emily, are you getting all ready for 4th of July?
Yes.
Getting a lot of exciting things going on?
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what all you've come up with. So good. It's a big activity out there at the parks for sure. Okay.
And then I do have one more thing. I'm not sure if this needs to be approved. NHK reached out and they want to do some community pool days. They want to sponsor some community pool days. They're wanting to do July 1st through July 10th. So we would invoice them for each day, and then they would pay us for those pool days.
And that's for anybody that attends the pool that day? Did they put a limit on it or a time frame or anything? Okay.
It's not for like water walking. It's just for.
So from the time the pool opens
Correct.
until it closes?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And of course, we have a limit of 400? Okay. Okay.
So they have done those in the past, and I haven't been firsthand involved in how the invoicing works.
Okay.
So you might check with the pool staff, with Lindsay, and see what they can do, because they have to do some kind of head count
Yeah.
so that they'll know, so that we can figure out what to invoice. But I'll be glad to help with that too,
Okay.
if you would like me to.
Okay. Okay.
So if they are agreeable to it, we just need to work out the system that would allow them to be billed.
Okay.
Well, I think it's pretty amazing that NHK would be willing to do that for our community and to offer that, because there are a lot of people that
Yeah.
will be happy that, they have free swim July 1st through the 10th, correct?
Correct.
Yes, I think that's amazing. So, do I have a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that, number one, our private partners of NHK are remarkable people. And I'll make a motion that we allow them to have the community pool days from July 1st through the 10th. And we sure appreciate their community involvement.
Absolutely.
Yep, I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay, you got
That's it.
approval. And thank you to
Awesome. Thank you.
NHK. Community Development, Kimberly.
So I'm not gonna be at work from July 1st to July 10th. You can find me at the pool. Greg, I always have something. I am, just some updates from the department. I have the ordinance, actually, I didn't do it, Alicia did it, for city council tonight for the outdoor refreshment area. And so we'll be bringing that notice back to you after the first reading this evening at 7 o'clock. So Alicia did a fantastic job on this, and I just kind of gave you some guidelines, so I appreciate your help.
Welcome.
The other thing is Office 365. You guys should have received a email from Shane, hopefully, that you can get on for Board of Works members. So if you ever need to meet virtually, you can do that through Office 365. So if you didn't get that email, let me know, because we've got pretty much everybody set up. So I was asking or talking with Shane on who else needed to be transferred over, and there's a way that you can do it on through the internet too. So if you're not on your computer or your phone, you can log in remotely. So, and then the last but not least, we are having Community Connection Days here at this Old Stony, and so come have lunch with us. And we'll have touch-a-truck events for the first two. The first one is June 24th, and then we'll have one in July. We have a DJ and some food trucks, and they'll be all at Old Stony here in the parking lot. So that's all I have.
Do we have any updates on the program for the charging systems?
Yes, that is what our next ordinance will be for city council.
Okay.
So we just need to nail down, or I just need to get with Alicia and nail down the cost of what that would be to charge. But yes, they're getting more and more active as the summer months, so.
Yeah.
Once we get the ordinance, we'll be able to purchase them. The money's already been encumbered from last year, so it'll just be an approval process from you all when that happens.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Okay, so, thank you. Hey, muffins with the mayor tomorrow. Kimberly.
Oh, yeah. I got muffins with me at 8:32.
And another exciting thing, what are we doing? We're going to the different departments, and we're going to have information out soon to the public on different things from street department, utilities. Where else we going?
Oh, yeah, our videos.
Yeah, that's tomorrow.
Yes, it is.
That's what you couldn't remember.
Yeah, that's what I have to do tomorrow, so. Okay, well, thank you. Okay, Alicia, what do you have for us?
I don't have anything else tonight. Everything else was covered in other departments, so I'm good tonight.
We're good? Okay, is there any unfinished business? Okay, under new business, we have the contract. Did you have something for us on that, Andrea? I think I have it here somewhere.
You do.
There.
Good evening. So we have a new contract for Adam Chemical. This is going to start January 1st of 26 to December 31st of 26. And this is our chemical company that comes and takes care of our water testing. They take care of our loops. Yeah, just our boiler system here. They test the water for us to make sure it's still good. And then it is right now $125, but it is going to $150 starting January 1st of 2026. So I just need approval for the contract for next year for Adam Chemical.
And this is the current company that does it. It's just a price increase for
That
them.
is correct, yes.
I'll make a motion that we accept the monthly service preventative maintenance contract with Adam Chemical, starting in 1/1/26 for $150 per month.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, anything else?
I do not.
Thank you, departments, department heads, for all that you do. It's been very busy lately, and I think it's going to continue that way, but that's what we like. So thank you so much. Take the motion.
I'll make a motion. We adjourn.
Second.